Okay, grazzi tal-li ġejtu. Din l-information session ħatkun dwar il-CanSat Competition li hija t-tielet darba li qed nagħmluha. I think it's best to continue in English to make sure that everyone understands and is included. So this information session will be recorded, and it's some information about the CanSat competition in Malta and how to participate. So first of all, I'll show you the link to the web page. There is a lot of information on the Explora website. There is a page dedicated to CanSat. There's also a link to the guidelines and a link to the online application, which you have to fill online. I've also included here a link to the European Space Agency, which is the overall organization of CanSat, organizer of the CanSat competition, because the CanSat competition is not organized only in Malta, it's done all over Europe, and that overall organization is international collaboration is done by the European Space Agency. So CanSat is short for canned satellites. It means that it's a satellite that is the size of a drink can. And the whole point of the CanSat competition is that it's a hands-on challenge for students aged between 14 and 18. The students have to design, build, and launch this satellite. So through this competition, the students will experience the whole life cycle of the project, from the design to the construction, testing, launch, the data analysis, and even the promotion and communication about the results. These are the important dates, the timeline of the competition. The application opened in 15th October, and the deadline will be on the 28th November. From November to March, the teams that apply and are selected will have time to construct and test the CanSat. There will be 2 one-day training sessions, one in December and one in February, with Michael Malik, who is on the call with us. And then the CanSats will be launched on April 2026, so next year. And the winners of the competition will go to the Netherlands in June to participate in the Space Engineer for a Day event. All the winners of CanSat competitions around different countries will also send the winning teams to the Netherlands to participate on the same events. More information on that later. So who can participate? This is for students aged between 14 and 18 in Malta. They have to join up in groups between 4 and 6. If your school has a rule, for example, that a group of 5 students has to have 2 teachers, then the team can't be 6 students, because in total, with the students and the team leader, you must be no more than 7. And you can have more than one team leader. And it's open to schools, but also if there are any coding clubs or after-school groups, they can also join in that capacity, as long as the educator is leading only one team. Students will take a lot from this. Indeed, this is the 3rd time that CanSat is being organized in Malta. And in the past, students have gotten a hands-on experience doing working on real engineering and design challenges, and they learn by doing. So it provides a different opportunity from the classroom, that it's more hands-on. And it's not just the engineering and the physics behind it. there is creating a satellite requires a lot of different skills, including in electronics and programming, but also soft skills like teamwork, communication, promotion. So this is a very well-rounded challenge and event. And the CanSats will be launched via a rocket, so it is quite an exciting event when we launch the CanSats with a real rocket. For educators, this is some work that is in addition to their workload. However, in the past, educators have found the experience of participating in this competition extremely rewarding. They also received training via those two one-day training sessions, but also there will be support along the way with experts, both with Michael and with CanSat Malta and with the rocketry team in the University of Malta. So this is an opportunity to have a project-based learning experience where you are working on a tangible output with your students. Esplora will provide some monetary and training support. So we will provide the groups with a CanSat Next kit, which is a kit designed especially to build CanSats. And we'll also provide up to 370 euros for additional components. So the kit does not contain all the components that you will read, and upon presentation of receipts, we can provide up to 370 euros. You can spend, in your group, you can spend more than that. You can spend up to 500 euros. However, points will be docked off if you spend more than that. So if you find sponsors, if you have a means to get sponsorships for the components of your CanSat, you are welcome to do that. Esplora will also provide two training sessions, and these will be for the educators and the students, and online support throughout the competition. This is the CanSat Next kit. It consists of a CanSat board, which is similar to an Arduino board, ground station radio, which will communicate with the antenna, a thermistor, which measures the temperature, and two radio cables, one of which is a backup. So a CanSat, as I said, is a CAN satellite, and it will include all the major subsystems in a normal satellite, including the power, the sensors, the parachute on the way down, and it all has to fit within a package the size of a drink can and be about 350 grams. There are some other rules about what the specifications of the CanSat, and these are all in the guidelines which are online. And all the CanSats that are launched must accomplish a primary mission, which is to measure the air temperature and pressure during descent every second, and also a secondary mission, which the team can decide what that secondary mission can be. You have to specify what the secondary mission is in your application, and you should also propose a method of how you will achieve that mission in your application. So this is something you have to think about now. To decide on your secondary mission, you can do some research and also use your imagination. There's a lot of help online. You can look at what real satellites do, all the functions that that they are used for, and try to apply it to your mini satellite. An example that I took out of the European Space Agency's website is that you can have a mission, for example, of exploring for extraterrestrial life, or even just exploring another planet. Of course, your CanSat will not go to another planet, but you can propose a mission where your CanSat will behave like it is in a different planet, and it will take samples and parameters of what it would do if it was exploring a different planet. We will launch the CanSat via a rocket. It will go up about 1,000 meters. And then once it reaches that maximum height, it will start descending, and it will take about 77 seconds to descend with the parachute. So from liftoff to touchdown, the whole mission takes about 90 seconds. And the data is collected live in that moment as it is descending. I don't know if Michael maybe has anything to add, anything I forgot, because I'm not a very technical person in this subject.
So I think you mentioned everything that's needed. One last thing that I would add, the students are free to use whatever material they want for the CanSat. So it doesn't have to be a can, it can be a 3D printed model that they model themselves and bring it out. And they can also use other components. They don't have to use the CanSat boards. So that's all I want to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so this leads nicely into the next point, which is that the role of the educator and the team leader is to supervise and guide, but we would like the students to take initiative and have an active role. So we don't imagine that this is something where the teacher tells the students what to do and they do exactly that. It's something that the students should take initiative and interest and lead by themselves with the help of the educator. We expect the educators to attend the training sessions, the two training sessions with their students, and help them along the way with in the technical aspects, but also in the working as a team aspect, and presenting your work and analyzing the data, any guidance that is needed along the way. And also the team leader should be there during the test days and the launch event. And if your team wins, you will accompany your team to the Netherlands for the Space Engineer for a Day event. To apply, you can use this QR code or go on our website. There is an online form. As I said, the online form, it's not super long, but there are quite a few details to fill in. So I recommend that you don't leave it till the last minute. Um, uh, you should put in details about your team and the proposed secondary mission. On our website, explora.org.mt, you can go to Steam Alerts and CanSat Malta Competition. And on that page, there are links both to the guidelines and the application form. So the team has to be assembled in your application. You have to propose the scientific mission that you would like to carry out. The application asks that you put in some detail about the secondary mission, including how you propose to carry it out, why you have chosen this mission, what data you would like to collect, how you would like to analyze it, and the different students in the team should have different roles, and they should be defined at the application stage. at the application stage, you should also have some idea of how you will do outreach to communicate your results to your community or even beyond your community, meaning your school, or you can decide how far and wide you want to spread your achievements. There will be a board of evaluators with backgrounds in different fields to evaluate the different teams and decide on the winner. The different aspects will be weighted in the way that is indicated here in this table. The technical achievement and scientific value are the two things that will be worth the most points, but also the professional competences, we mean how you work as a team, how you communicate, how you adapt to different problems. So these will also be evaluated and count towards the final mark. And your outreach, how you communicate your results, will also be um, um, uh, given some points to your final mark. As I said, the winners will go to the Netherlands, to the ESTEC Center. And this is a center where there is real space research being done. So the team, once the students will tour the facilities, will look at the work being done in the European Space Agency, within the European Space Agency, and they will have a challenge where they will work with other students from other countries and with the help of real space engineers and space scientists. So this could be a very exciting and inspirational day. Indeed, we believe that the whole experience of building a CanSat together as a team can widen the students' ambitions and awareness of what a career in space means and all the different fields and skills that are required to work in the space in the space field. So yeah, that's the summary of the CanSat competition. We are happy to help, and we monitor the STEM engagement at .esplora@gov.mt inbox all the time, and we respond quickly. So we are very happy to respond to any questions. And thank you very much for your attention. So let me go back here.
I have two questions, please.
Mm-hmm.
It was mentioned that every team has an expenditure threshold of 500 euros.
Mm-hmm.
What does that include? For example, if they're building the housing of the CanSat in 3D printing, the material used for the housing is part of the expenditure. I mean, what can be defined as components that are measured under the threshold?
I don't know if Michael has any input about this.
Yeah, I can answer this question for you. So what we count in the price of the total CanSat and the 500 euros is the whole finished product that they will compete with. So it's the casing, it's the components, it's the cables, sensors, microcontrollers, parachute, antenna, and I think that's about everything. Maybe some
Okay.
universal PCB boards that they will make if they want to. So the final product, the final CanSat, it needs to be in the 500 euros threshold.
Everything besides the starter kit. Am I right?
I believe the starter kit should be included as well.
Okay, so the starter kit will be provided to the teams by CanSat Malta. Am I right?
Yes, yes. If they use the starter kit, they have to include it. If they want to use the starter kit, they don't have to.
Ah, okay. So what it's being meant is that students can use, for example, ESP32 rather than Arduino, and they don't use the starter kit. And the
Yes,
starter kit, and obviously then those 500 euros will obviously imply to all the components they use, including the starter kit if they use it.
yes, including the
Yes,
starter kit if they use it.
that's good. That's good. For example, if there's a team who's got a 3D printer at home, and they obviously use it, how can they define the cost? So the grams of material used, and then they, by proportion, relate the expense, because they don't have receipt. I mean, they're using their own material. How can they justify?
If they are using their own materials,
Mhm.
they don't have to put it in the price range because they
Okay,
use their own materials. They do not bought a
exactly.
whole package of material. So, for
Okay,
example,
so
in my country, or when I competed, we bought one big roll of 3D printing material, and we basically calculated how much of it used and then convert it into the price. But since
yes.
they are using their own material, they don't have to.
So perhaps this slight information can be added with the or a frequently asked question section that we can
Mhm.
add. Another
Yeah,
question, please,
I'll take a
quickly.
note. Mhm.
Um, the assessment criteria has got 3 or 4 criteria. The assessment rubric. It would be, I think, ideal that students are aware. So we provide a description of, for example, technical value, what we mean by technical value. So technical value, we're meaning the hardware, the level of hardware used, the level of coding used, the hardware software integration. So it would be nice to have a description for every criteria,
Mhm.
whereby the judges will be obviously evaluating the work. So the students and the teams will be aware of the actual grounds where in which the
Mhm.
judges will be
There is
working
such a
upon.
description in the guidelines, but maybe we can beef it up a bit on the webpage itself. So, yes, for example, technical achievements. The judges will be looking at the mission's technical complexities, the CanSat's technical level, understanding of technical concepts, and
What
the
do you mean by
originality.
technical? By technical, there's a lot of
Okay.
aspects that you can mean by
Mhm,
technical, which the hardware
mhm,
side, the electronic side, the coding side, or which part
mhm.
of, you know, that's why.
Yes, I imagine
Even for the judges, even for the
the
judges to have
total, the
a
totality of it. Okay.
exactly. I think that
Uh,
would help the register teams to know exactly how they will be their work will be judged, kind of evaluated.
mhm.
That's all from me.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Welcome.